Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Welcome to the match review of Portugal 0, Spain 0. It's a goalless draw in a really interesting pre-season friendly. We spoke about before the game how there are some weird circumstances coming into this one, but there was some good football out there. There's quite a bit to talk about. It was a decent friendly, a good workout for both sides, and with fans back in the ground, a nice watch there for you neutrals and also you Spain and Portugal fans. A little bit to discuss, so without any further ado, let's get into the match review. And a good place to start is always with these lineups. And well, we predicted maybe rotated sides from both teams, but actually Portugal, for me, went out pretty strong. You know, you saw Ronaldo in there, you saw Rui Patricio in goal. Pepe was out there, Ruben Diaz came on. You look at Guerreiro and Cancelo, I thought both of those guys were going to be rested. We saw Neves and Moutinho in the team. So Portugal, yes, they made a few changes here and there. Players like Trincao were playing a lot of the game, but they actually went out quite strong. And you look at Spain's lineup, it was really heavily rotated. There's no other way to put it. A lot of players that you wouldn't be familiar seeing in a Spain shirt are out there. You know, it wasn't a vintage Spain lineup really in that sense. And the sort of thing that we want to be seeing at the Euros, you wouldn't say it's that lineup. But to be fair to them, they actually did really well. I was impressed. And I was kind of fearing the worst when I saw the Portugal lineup, the way they were approaching the game, and the Spain lineup, maybe the way we were saying, hey, we want to rest here, we just want to get out of this game so we can play the Nations League. But to be fair to the guys that came in for us, they actually did really well. So the lineups were kind of interesting. Portugal going a little bit stronger, and us actually going quite weak on paper, but it ended up being quite a balanced game, so that was really interesting. And like I say, the home crowd was back in there. I believe there are about 2,500 Portugal fans in the stadium today, so not a lot, but they did actually make a bit of noise. You know, you look at when the Portugal were on the attack, when Ronaldo was on the ball, you know, they're making all these noises in the crowd, so you can definitely tell that the home fans are back, and I'm sure the players could also. It probably gave the friendly a little bit more rhythm than maybe it would have had if there were no fans on the ground. So that was really good to see the fans back in the stadium, back supporting their nations, and we hope for some of the future games we can get the fans back for sure, and we don't really know what capacity yet, but they were out there. But let's just talk about Spain, because we really started the game quite well for me. I was very impressed, and like I say, I was fearing the worst when I saw the lineups. I saw the two teams, and I was thinking, hey, this could be quite a nasty 90 minutes for Spain, but we started really well. You know, we were getting some good combinations in there. There was clear domination of the ball. Portugal, with their full lineup essentially, couldn't get near us no matter who came in. You looked at Ceballos in that midfield, Canales was really good, Dani Olmo, they were linking up nicely with the likes of Rodrigo and Gerard Moreno. I thought Busquets was excellent today. In defence, Eric Garcia and Diego Llorente deserve massive shout-outs. I thought they were both stunning at the back, so it was really good from Spain, it really was, and I think we can see this Luis Enrique print all over the team. No matter who comes in, no matter who you're playing against, there are certain standards that have to be met, and like I say, I was worried with the lineup, but they just proved themselves yet again. The guys that came in, they did really well in a tough ground, a tough match, fans going back into the crowd, you know, Portugal putting up a good lineup. You know, it's Portugal away, for God's sake, for a Spain fixture, so it was a big game in that regard, so they did really well up there. All the guys that came in, like I mentioned, Eric Garcia I thought was stunning. He has that Barcelona print of a centre-back all over him, and that's really positive. On a personal note, he looked stunning. So you look in the midfield, I thought Canales and Busquets were brilliant. Also Ceballos was combining really nicely in the attack, and Dani Olmo, who played the full 90 minutes, was doing really well off that left-hand side. And like I mentioned, the Luis Enrique print, it's all over this team. There are standards that need to be met, and we played really good stuff out there again. We got a few shots away. I wouldn't say we deserved to be 1-0 up, because there wasn't really quite enough. We had some good combinations, but we never really looked that threatening, and I think that will come when we play some different players. You know, the threatening players we have on our team are really the likes of Ansu Fati, even Thiago from midfield, looking at Fabian also, and maybe a different number 9. I just wonder whether we have a number 9 at Spain right now. Is Gerard Moreno going to cut it for the tournament? Same goes for Rodrigo Moreno. You never really know with those two, so that's maybe something we're lacking, and we probably saw that in the first half when we were creating quite a lot, you know, getting at Portugal's defence, but nothing really ever came of it. And it was around about the 30th, 35th minute that Portugal did actually begin to grow into the game, and they put together some good combinations also, you know, a few balls into the back post. Guerreiro had a good chance at the end of the half. All of a sudden in transitions, Spain weren't as dominant. Portugal were actually running at our defence and probably thinking, hey, we can actually get some joy here. So that definitely was changing a little bit towards the end of the half, and Portugal, you know, they were growing into the game for sure. They had a really poor opening half an hour, if I'm being honest. Spain just ran all over them. It was really dominative from Luis Enrique's side, but I'd say, you know, the first half, Spain certainly won, but in that second half, and even towards the end of the first half, Portugal, they really came into it. You know, a few changes were made here and there on both teams. We'll get on to Adama Traore's debut in a minute. I thought it was a standout from him for Spain, something we've been waiting for a long time. But in terms of Portugal, you know, they kept coming. Ronaldo hit the crossbar. I thought it was in. And I think Spain, maybe my biggest down point in the second half would be that we just gave Portugal too much respect almost on the ball in the second half. When they were running at us and when they were really trying to create, it was too easy for them. We were just saying, yeah, go on, have a run at us. We were backing off a lot. And listen, this isn't our full team. Like I said, it's probably even 11 changes from our full team, around about that anyway. So, you know, it's a heavily rotated Spain side, almost a second string Spain side, like we saw, or like I said, that we may be able to see in this game in the preview. So that's what we saw out there, and I would say that they gave Portugal a bit too much respect. Ronaldo hit the crossbar, Renato Sanchez hit the crossbar, Trincao came really, really close. Kepa made a good save there, who was actually quite good in goal today, Kepa. And then also in the last minute, guys, João Felix, who came off the bench late on, he really should have scored a tap-in, and that would have won Portugal the game in the 93rd minute. It would have been cruel, but hey, Portugal definitely had chances in that second half. And for me, when they had the ball, they looked threatening, and they probably did hurt us more than I probably would have liked. So maybe that's the negative of today's game. Portugal, when they're in possession, they did look dangerous, and Spain definitely suffered a little bit in that regard. But let's speak about some of the players that we impressed us for Spain out there tonight. Adama Traore, like I said, I wanted to talk about him. I know everyone knows about his pace, but it is just unbelievable. Once he gets that ball on the right-hand side and he takes a touch by you, he really, really zooms, and there's actually just no way of stopping him. There's no other way to put it, essentially. Absolutely wonderful the way you can just drive at defenders, and he nearly got us a goal, actually. It was a good pullback to Dani Olmo, who probably should have scored, but it's a good save by Patricio, who was good on the night also. And also, Patricio made a really good save in the opening minute, actually, to Gerard. So, Patricio, like Kepa, with quite a solid night in goal. But like I say, Adama, stunning debut. Really happy to see him in a Spain shirt. We've been saying for, nearly 6 months now, probably more, nearly a year, that we want Adama in the Spain squad, and we've got it. And he's made his debut. He's locked down for Spain. And we definitely want to be seeing more of him in the upcoming fixtures against Switzerland and also Ukraine. And definitely in the future, guys. I just looked at the Euros there, and even if he's not starting, to have Adama as an option off the bench is something really, really dangerous and something we definitely should consider. And I'm sure Luis Enrique, I heard him on the sidelines, he seemed really impressed with what he was seeing out there by Adama. You know, he's not just pace and a complete force. He's got good feet. He was getting past his players. He was putting good balls into the box. He was troubling Portugal, probably more than any Spain player was in that whole second half. So he's looking like a real top deal player right now, Adama, and he was excellent in that second half. But just to wrap up the review here, there isn't that much to talk about because it was a 0-0 draw. But like I say, really impressed with how we made a lot of changes there, and the print was still all over the team. It was a really good fixture. You know, it's a tough game playing against Portugal, but really, really positive signs for us. And like I say, massive changes. Almost a second team there from Spain, almost entirely. You know, when we see the Euros, when we kick off in 2021, honestly, I don't even know if one of those players in the starting lineup today will be playing. You know, looking at Navas, Carvajal, De Gea, Ramos, Pau Torres, Gaia. Even in midfield, you know, they've got the likes of Rodri, Thiago, Fabian, and then up front, the likes of Ansu Fati, Ferran, even Adama Traore to all come back in. So, you know, I've listed about 12, 13 names there who could also easily come in and start in the Euros and are the top players for Spain. So that's what I mean by the fact that we rotated a lot tonight. We played against a good Portugal side. We did really, really well. We dominated large parts of the game, and it was good. It was really good. It was a good workout. I was really impressed all around and managed to keep a clean sheet there, which is really, really good. But not really much else to say about today's game. You know, no goals for either side. Decent defensive work. I was impressed with what we were doing in possession, maybe not so much out of it. But now we've got the big games, guys. That's what we want to speak about here really at the end. That's the emphasis. We've got through this game with a clean sheet. It's a nice draw. You know, I would have loved to win it. I would have loved to beat Portugal. I always do. But we've got ourselves a draw here. We move on now. It was a good workout. We've kept ourselves a clean sheet. All round, super impressed. And now it's on to these important fixtures. In the preview, I was really talking about let's rest here. Luis Enrique did. So now we've got a really full 11, essentially, to go out and take on Switzerland on Saturday. And we've got to win, guys. And I back us to win. We're playing good football right now. And once we bring the full 11 together, I think we can beat Switzerland. If we beat Switzerland, we're in a great position. Then we've got Ukraine away. The same thing goes, guys. Have to go out and win those games. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Big games coming up now for the national team. If we want to win this Nations League tournament, we've got to be able to top our group. We know that. And we've got Germany in it, Switzerland, who got through to the finals last time, and Ukraine, guys, who, like we actually mentioned, I think, in the preview, actually beat Portugal not long ago. So Ukraine, who we beat 4-0 not long ago, well, we've got to play them again now, but they actually look quite good. So our group is a tough one, but we've got Switzerland and Ukraine now. Two, maybe not easy fixtures, but the easier ones in the group. You know, we're not playing Germany for the rest of this break, so we've got a good chance to rack up 6 points here, put ourselves in a great position, and I believe we can do it. So I'll be seeing you guys there for the review of the game, the previews of those games also, of course, and I'm looking forward to it, guys. Massive games coming up for the Spanish national team. A good break today, a good, you know, a chance for some of the lesser players to come in, if you would. You know, Campagna got his debut, Adama got his debut, Eric Garcia got his full debut. You know, he only got an appearance off the bench before, so a good fixture. I was really impressed all round, and that's where I'm going to leave it. If you guys did enjoy, please do drop a like, and also let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys very, very soon for the preview to our Switzerland game. More to come from Spain, this time more competitive and important fixtures, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.